In 2005, former Major League Baseball star Jose Canseco released Juiced, Wild Times, Rampant Roids, Smash Hits, and How Baseball Got Big, a tell-all book that shook the foundations of America's pastime. More than just a memoir, Juiced was an exposé on performance-enhancing drugs, PEDs, in professional baseball. Canseco openly admitted to using anabolic steroids during his career and claimed that steroid use was widespread throughout the sport, implicating some of the game's biggest stars. His revelations ignited controversy, sparked congressional hearings, and permanently altered the way fans, players, and officials viewed the steroid era. Jose Canseco, a former Rookie of the Year and six-time All-Star, had been one of the most feared sluggers of the late 1980s and 1990s. A member of the Oakland Athletics famed Bash Brothers duo alongside Mark McGwire, Canseco helped usher in an era of towering home runs and power hitting. But behind the spectacle, he claimed, was a hidden culture of performance-enhancing drugs that fueled the rise of some of baseball's most dominant players. In Juiced, Canseco admitted to his own steroid use, calling himself the godfather of steroids in baseball. He detailed how he and other players used PEDs not only to increase strength and power, but also to recover from injuries and prolong their careers. More explosively, he named names. High-profile players including Mark McGwire, Rafael Palmeiro, Jason Giambi, Ivan Rodriguez, and others, accusing them of using steroids and asserting that the problem was systemic, not isolated. At the time, the reaction was explosive. Many dismissed Canseco as a disgruntled former player seeking attention and money. Several of the players he named denied the allegations, while others attacked his credibility. Yet the book coincided with a growing public debate about steroids in baseball, and shortly after its release, Congress held hearings on performance-enhancing drugs. Canseco testified alongside players such as McGwire and Palmeiro, bringing unprecedented scrutiny to the issue. Over time, many of Canseco's claims were substantiated, either through admissions by players or investigative reporting. Jason Giambi and Alex Rodriguez would later confess to steroid use, while Rafael Palmeiro, who had famously pointed his finger at Congress to deny using PEDs, tested positive later that same year. What had initially been dismissed as sensationalism began to look more like uncomfortable truth. The fallout from Juiced was massive. Baseball was forced to confront the steroid era head-on, implementing stricter drug testing policies and penalties. The reputations of stars from that era were tarnished, with Hall of Fame debates becoming mired in controversy over whether players linked to steroids should be enshrined. For many fans, the accomplishments of the late 1990s and early 2000s became forever clouded by suspicion. Though Canseco's motives and methods have been criticized, Juiced remains one of the most significant sports exposés ever published. It forced Major League Baseball into reform, reshaped public perception of the game, and highlighted the ethical dilemmas posed by performance-enhancing drugs in professional sports. Jose Canseco may have been a controversial messenger, but his book exposed an uncomfortable truth. Baseball's golden age of power was built, in part, on a chemical foundation. Nearly 2 decades later, Juiced continues to stand as a watershed moment in the history of sports scandals, marking the point when the steroid era could no longer be ignored.